Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you're listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. Aggrieved contractors and former employees of LRRC demand the removal of Director General Patrick T. Wazee. An officer of the Liberia National Police assigned in Camp Nimba County has been officially pronounced dead by doctors at JFK Hospital in Monrovia. Sino County Senator and co-chair on Ways, Means and Finance, Creighton Duncan, accuses the Ministry of Transport of paralyzing and undermining Liberian-owned businesses. Away from home, a leading member of Malawi's opposition has been charged with plotting to kill the country's president, Lazarus Chakwera. These plus many more coming up on the Daily News. Now the news in details. Aggrieved contractors and former employees of the Liberia Refugee Resettlement and Repatriation Commission at their headquarters in Congo Town demand the removal of Director General Patrick T. Wazee. The group was seen chanting slogans and forcefully attempting to enter the LRRC's building after security guards denied them access. The alleged Director Wazee mishandled their contracts and withheld their 8-month salaries without justification. Speaking to reporters during the protest at their head office in Congo Town, the protesters accused Wazee of corruption, claiming that he forged their signatures and misappropriated funds belonging to Liberian returnees from Ghana. Reports surfaced recently detailing several corruption scandals involving the commission. During his recent appearance at the Ministry of Information's regular press briefing, Mr. Wazee stated that his signature was forged, resulting in unauthorized withdrawals from their donors' accounts. He indicated that the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission was investigating the matter and that his deputy had been suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. He alleged that the deputy had threatened to tarnish his reputation in relation. However, at the protests on October 8, 2023, the aggrieved workers challenged Director Wazee, saying his statements were misleading. They contended that he improperly implicated them in the investigation, referencing documents that he could not substantiate, and that he aimed to dismiss 63 employees without cause. The protesters angrily argued that the LRRC boss made an error by including the Human Resources Department in the investigation, which led to further inquiries revealing his internal motives. They noted that since Wazee's appointment, the LRRC has experienced numerous labor violations and financial misconduct. The group calls on the government of Liberia to dismiss Wazee to restore order and integrity at the LRRC. Meanwhile, the Liberia National Police intervened as tensions escalated, with protesters violently knocking on the institution's gates and demanding the Director General's removal. Sino County Senator and co-chair on Ways, Means and Finance, Creighton Duncan, accused the Ministry of Transport of paralyzing and undermining Liberian-owned businesses. According to Senator Duncan, the Ministry of Transport consistently awards opportunities and contracts to foreign nationals instead of Liberians, which he believes has undermined the policy. The Sino County lawmakers' communication read to the Senate plenary over the weekend was titled Recent Action of the Ministry of Transport regarding and superficially in relation to opportunities and contracts that are increasingly awarded to foreign nationals. According to him, this trend by the Ministry of Transport contradicts the government's policy, which seeks to prioritize Liberia's economic growth through business opportunities. Lawyers for victims of the 1990 St. Peter Lutheran Church massacre by armed forces of Liberia troops under the rule of then President Samuel Doe have described this month's ruling by the ECOWAS Community Court of Justice against the clients as disappointing. The court said it had no jurisdiction to look in the merits of the case against the Liberian government because the slaughter of an estimated 600 men, women, and children predated the court's establishment in 2005. The ruling dashed the hopes of victims and survivors of the carnage during Liberia's first civil war. The armed forces of Liberia and the Special Anti-Terrorist Unit alleged killed allegedly killed the people because they were said to be members of the Gio and Mano ethnic groups who Doe had accused of supporting former warlord Charles Taylor. The lawyers argued the government does not need to wait for a war crimes court and has a duty to use domestic laws to try accused perpetrators, including Moses Thomas, SATU commander on the day, who was found liable for the massacre in a civil case in Philadelphia in 2022 and ordered to pay $84 million to four victims who brought the case against him. Philadelphia prosecutors were unable to bring a criminal immigration fraud case against Thomas as they had against other accused perpetrators in Liberia. Thomas fled Philadelphia and returned to Liberia shortly after to escape enforcement of the liable payment. Dr. Maxwell Luma, Executive Director of Partners in Health, PIH Liberia, has assured Liberians that the organization, now marking a decade of operation in the country, remains committed to delivering quality health care, particularly in underserved areas like southeastern Liberia, despite significant challenges. Dr. Luma made this commitment during the PIH 10-year anniversary celebration, where he reflected on the organization's journey of serving hard-to-reach communities. He said over the past 10 years, they have encountered many obstacles, including impassable roads, supply shortages, and system shocks like COVID-19. Yet their commitment to their patients and communities has only strengthened. PIH was invited to Liberia at the peak of the Ebola crisis in 2014 by former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Dr. Luma noted that Ebola's devastation was not solely due to the virus, but was compounded by an already fragile healthcare system. Following WHO's declaration of Liberia as Ebola-free in 2016, PIH chose to stay and help the Liberian government rebuild and strengthen the healthcare system, especially in remote regions. The government of Liberia and the European Union have launched a US $24 million project aimed at addressing Liberia's agricultural quagmire occasioned by decades of challenges, especially lack of good and affordable farm imports. Launched in Monrovia on Monday, October 28, the project, coined the Seeds for Liberia project, focuses on the foundational aspects of the agricultural system as it aimed at enhancing resilient seed systems in agricultural value chains. The initiative, funded by the EU and implemented by Africa Rice in partnership with various national and international collaborators, will help enhance Liberia's agricultural sector by improving seed production, distribution, and infrastructure for key value chains, including rice, cassava, soybean, coffee, and fish. In her opening remarks, Deputy Minister of Administration at the Ministry of Agriculture, Antoinette Dukley, emphasized the critical importance of agriculture to Liberia's economy. noting that the sector provides livelihoods for over 70% of the population and contributes nearly 39% of the GDP. She highlighted that the Seed for Liberia project is designed to directly address key challenges in Liberia's seed system, including the use of uncertified seeds and inadequate infrastructure for seed production and quality control. The University of Liberia Student Interim Leadership has called on Speaker of the House of Representatives J. Fanati Kofa to immediately address the ongoing legislative deadlock, which the student leaders argued is causing significant harm to the nation. Emphasizing accountability and effective governance, ALSU's leadership contends that the Speaker must act as a steward of democratic process and heed the concerns of his colleagues to end the impasse. Mary Kekula, president of ALSU, expressed strong disappointment over the Speaker's inaction, highlighting the gridlock has prevented the legislature from addressing pressing national issues. She said the stalmart has directly impacted the rights and livelihoods of ordinary Liberians, especially the youth and working class, who are already bearing the burnt economic challenges. Calling for an independent investigation into the corporation allegations surfacing within the legislature, Kakula emphasized the need of transparency, stressing that public confidence depends on a full and fair accounting of any wrongdoing. William Sando, also Secretary General, echoed the sentiments calling for Speaker Kofa to prioritize unity within the House. The African Women Development Network, AWDN, has launched its sixth intergenerational leadership retreat at Farmington Hotel in Margibi County to enhance women's leadership across Africa. The retreat, running from October 27 to the 29th, 2025, focuses on co-leadership and co-mentoring. It creates a platform for AWLN pioneer elders to share their experiences and expertise with emerging women leaders. The summit highlights the vital role women play in transforming the continent. AWDN is a collaborative initiative of the African Union Commission and the United Nations Entity for Gender Equality and Empowerment of Women, supported by the federal government of Germany. This year's summit theme is empowering the next generation of women leaders in a Beijing plus 30 era, paving the way for a sustainable and equitable society. The retreat has included plenary sessions, workshops, keynote speeches, and high-level panel discussions over the past 3 days. A key highlight will be the launch of the AWLN Mentorship Program Pilot Phase, unveiling its mentorship handbook and the IRG outcome call onto action. Away from home, a leader member of Malawi's opposition has been charged with plotting to kill the country's president, Lazarus Chakwera. Patricia Kaliati, Secretary General of the UTM party, was arrested last week on suspicion of conspiring with others to commit a serious offense. Appearing on Monday at a court in Malawi's capital, the 57-year-old did not speak, but her lawyer argued that the politician maintained her innocence, local media reports. Few details of the alleged plot have been shared, and various opposition figures claim the charges against Kaliati are politically motivated. UTM supporters gathered outside the court and sang anti-government songs ahead of the hearing, according to the AFP news agency. Inside, the court heard that Kalati had two co-conspirators said to be on the run. The magistrate eventually ruled that Kalati could be released on bail as investigations continued. The state prosecutor had asked for her to be held for another week. Police in Malawi said they were acting within the law and that Kalati's rights would be respected. Her party, the UTM, was part of the country's government until June when it withdrew following the death of its leader, Carlos Chilima, who was serving as vice president. Kalati has since presented herself as a candidate to replace Chilima as party leader with a view of to challenge Chakwera in next year's presidential election. A primary school teacher before entering politics, Kalati is well known for her outspoken, straight-talking character. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I do a recap of the headlines. Aggrieved contractors and former employees of LRRC demand the removal of Director General Patrick T. Wozi. An officer of the Liberia National Police assigned in Camplin, Nimba County, has been officially pronounced dead by doctors at JFK Hospital in Monrovia. Sino County Senator and co-chair on Ways, Means and Finance, Peyton Duncan, accuses the Ministry of Transport of paralyzing and undermining Liberian-owned businesses. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.